speech there, and things haven't been made terribly clear. I'll give you an instance. This morning we went to one room and the FIFA delegate there said there's no chance of England and Scotland being drawn together, and 5 minutes later in another room we were told, yes, England and Scotland could well be drawn together. And now the familiar face of one of the top members of FIFA, Dr. João Havelange, making his speech there, the young man that you saw for a moment, the young prince, the 14-year-old prince, son of King Juan Carlos, Prince of Asturias, who is here presiding over this ceremony, the heir to the Spanish throne. Well, Dr. Havelange, of course, the man really responsible for making this World Cup the biggest with 24 countries. It was his idea. 65-year-old president of FIFA, used to be an excellent swimmer as well, represented Brazil at water polo and swimming, and took over from Stanley Routh in 1974. I can tell you that these formalities will carry on for around about another 10 minutes. As Brian said to you, we're soon going to hear the World Cup being handed back from the holders at Argentina. And then we will get on to the draw itself. And I'll hold back my explanation of exactly how that's going to happen. And believe you me, I'll do my best to make it as simple as possible for you. But it is rather a complicated procedure. But I hope I'll keep things simple and make sure that you can understand it well. Dr. Havelange hinted he was going to retire this summer, but now looks as though he's going to stay for another 4 years as president of FIFA. He's talking now about the 24 teams coming here. Some say the World Cup has gone too big, that it's commercialisation gone crazy. You can just see in the centre of your screen there, Bert Millership, the FA chairman. Just catch him there. These are the delegates from the 24 countries sitting in this superb hall, the Congress Palace. They had a bit of trouble clearing out the European Security Conference here, and they're all going to be coming back next month in February. Just over 2,500 people are here in the Congress Hall and in the Overspill. Well, Dr. Havelange says it's a courageous undertaking, really extending the World Cup to 24 teams. It requires a very careful planning indeed. And the work that's been going on around some of the centres that I hope to be able to tell you about a little later on has really been terrific. And I think that when the World Cup starts here in June, certainly the stadia that the 24 countries are going to have to play in, there'll be no complaints about those. And Dr. Havelange is paying special thanks to His Royal Highness, the Prince of Asturias, the young man that we saw a little earlier on. Asturias, in fact, includes Gijón. That's the centre where West Germany are going to be based. Just before the draw was made, they officially opened the walkway that stretches from the Bernabeu Stadium just behind us, the home of Real Madrid, literally 50 yards away from this Congress Hall. So that walkway linking where the World Cup starts with tonight's draw and where it finishes with the final here on July the 11th. Dr. Havelange just coming towards the end of his speech, and then very shortly we're going to have the World Cup handed back by Argentina. In just a few moments' time, I'll have a chance, in fact, during some of these speeches that I'm sure you agree you don't want to hear every word of, and I'll have a chance to explain to you exactly how the draw works and hopefully give you one or two of the numbers to watch out for and explain how things are going to happen. This draw, incidentally, is being watched on televisions in 72 different countries. Millions of people all over the world tuned in live to this draw. In fact, twice the number of people who watched the draw in Buenos Aires 4 years ago. And there is the young prince presiding here over the draw, and Dr. Havelange paying that special thanks to him. After Dr. Havelange's speech, there'll be a brief announcement, and then we will see the World Cup itself being handed back. And then after that, there will be a fairly lengthy speech that, again, I'm sure you don't want to hear too much about, and we might bring in the lads up in the north and Ray Clements. And there's the young prince again that we're seeing once more. The Spanish director obviously keen to give the world a good sight of the young prince, whose father is going to be here for the opening match and for the final, the opening match in the Nou Camp Stadium in Barcelona, and for the final in the Real Madrid Stadium. So there's the finish to Dr. Havelange's speech. And now we're just seeing coming into view the World Cup being handed back by the president of the Argentine FA, Julio Gorandola. That magnificent trophy. They've had a little bit of trouble with security and things, worth £2 million it is. And now handing the trophy via Dr. Havelange to Pablo Porta, Dr. Havelange to Pablo Porta, and the trophy that Argentina won in their own country comes back to Spain. And if you feel that the hosts are going to win it again, as they did in Argentina and in West Germany in '74, well, the bookmakers tell us you can have 7-1 against on Spain. And in just a moment we're going to have this fairly lengthy speech from Mr. Neuberger, and during that I will tell you what to expect when those gaps are filled in a little later on.